1 minute early.
How was that?
That wasn't bad. It wasn't too loud. Sounded good.
Dude, halfway through it, I stood up and everything crashed down and my mic unplugged. But
Is that
I think
an AI song? Did they create that?
No. That's my friend Charlie. He's a singer. Nice. He's really good. He was born with an extra finger on his hand, so he calls himself, he calls himself Six Nuck. But he's really good at the guitar. I wonder if that gives him an advantage.
The six-fingered man? You see the guy from The Princess Bride?
Inigo Montoya, you killed my father. Prepare to die. Good morning, chat.
Good morning. Good morning.
And my ADA assigned. Thank you, Vicky. Thanks, guys. Benny B is over. We've got, for the first time ever, Nova is streaming this on YouTube.
We're testing out the simulcast.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty dope. We started a little early, but it actually put us right on time. So, hell yeah.
Never gay. Never. Don't head tilt. Never.
I know. I got questions about you, Nova.
I saw that head tilt.
Okay, so before we're just kind of bullshitting before we went live, and you were telling me about all the documents in Nick Rekieta's Montagraph's defamation suit against Rekieta.
Yes.
Right? I'm gonna.
I was just curious of how much money Randazza is racking in with all these filings, because I am assuming that every time something gets filed with the court, Nick's lawyer would bring it up, review it, just in case it's pertinent. And so I'm thinking each one of these is a minimum half-hour billing, probably an hour billing, because it's Randazza. He likes nice things. So each one of these is $1,000.
His wife likes nice things. Don't you dare put that on him. His wife likes
nice things too. So each one of these entries is about $1,000 on Nick.
$1,000? Wait, how did you go from half an hour to $1,000?
I'm going to say, well, half hour, but it's Randazza, so he's going to bill the full hour because it's Randazza.
Damn.
Remember, he's the Satan lawyer, right? So he's got to do the evil thing, not the good thing.
Okay, well, let's back up a little bit. It is Randazza, so we're going to back up a second. He has represented the Church of Satan, so that's why we got that. Good morning.
Pro bono at that.
But he actually said when he's dealing with a friend or somebody he likes that he wouldn't overbill them. Remember the video we watched?
Right. But do you think he likes Nick or just likes Nick's money?
He probably fucking hates Nick.
He fucking hates Nick.
But I mean, I'm sure they're homies.
I don't know. He told remember he went out and publicly said that Nick needs to go to rehab and get help when Nick hasn't even gone to trial yet.
That was being a friend. That's what friends do. They say, get help.
It's not what
especially when you need it. That's why I said they're like homies.
I think Randazza would be friends with anyone that gives him $1,000 an hour.
Is this true?
Ooh. Who's echoing? Me? Echo. I don't hear it.
I don't hear it either. Tell me, could somebody else help me with that? Maybe it's... Good morning, beautifully. I don't see... Oh, okay. Good morning.
Who's echoing?
You just were. I don't hear it. I don't hear an echo either. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe Len has us in on Rumble and YouTube.
Oh, that could be.
Well done, Len. Keep it up.
Yes. Get those numbers. Not that Rumble's numbers are all fake anyway, because they're a Ponzi scheme.
So that's just kind of a side tangent. So you actually said...
Just look at Dave scrolling down. This is money, 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 money.
66 entries. But this is 16 pages, 2 pages. This is all money, money, money. So you actually said you think he will end up owing Rendaza more than he will end up owing Montagraph.
It could be. Depends. Nick's not taking the settlement. Nick's not taking a plea. He's going to go to trial. So if it goes to trial, the jury's going to fuck Nick worse than Rendaza. But if he takes a plea, Rendaza will fuck him worse than Monty.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't think he's taking any kind of plea deals in this case.
I don't think he's taking any plea anywhere.
You know why? I think that Nick's, this is just total guess, but whatever. I think Nick's gonna do an Amber Heard and use his insurance to pay this out, so he doesn't really give a shit.
Nick can't even pay his taxes or his speeding tickets. He's not going to pay for insurance.
And I noticed that he didn't have his car registered, or he didn't have insurance or something on it. I'm like, what the fuck? Both times he got pulled over, like January and then a couple months later or whatever it was. I'm like, bro, didn't even have his...
He's a trust fund baby. He has no idea what accountability or responsibilities are.
First of all, he's not a trust fund baby. You can shut the fuck up about that. He has his home in a trust because he's smart and he was trying to protect his assets. That's as far as we can go with that because we don't know anything else.
Well, I think we do because he's a non-practicing lawyer. So where did he get the money to buy his home?
He used to work. He worked at the bank for a couple years, right?
I think 1 year. And he was like a telemarketer. He wasn't even a real banker. He was one of the guys that was on the phone all day. Hey, you should buy this extra insurance.
It doesn't matter what he was doing. He was getting paid to do it.
Okay, we'll say he made $500,000 for 1 year working at the bank.
Oh my God, you're being so generous. Why would you? Okay, then he was set for a little while.
But he didn't have enough to buy his house, pay for 5 kids, groceries, 5 kids, all her plastics, like all kinds of money that Nick didn't have before he got rich. How did he afford 2 homes?
Oh, Darth's a good thing. He's been giving truck stop BJs for the last 6 months. No, okay, first of all, his homes he bought together, right?
I don't think so, because I think they're 2 separate properties.
Okay, so I don't know anything
about. One just popped up conveniently next door, so they bought it as like, oh, we'll make that our guest house.
Next door. Okay, maybe they got it when like in the housing crash. When do you know which years they bought their homes?
I don't. It'd be on the Zillow though.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Probably like 2008-ish was the crash, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think that's when they bought as well?
I'm guessing.
He had only lived in his house, the nicer one, for like 6 years or something like that. I thought it wasn't that long. I don't know. It's probably irrelevant. I can't really remember how we got here.
But I think Nick never grew up with any responsibilities. He never had to have like a job as a teenager. He never had to deliver newspapers. He never had any responsibility. He only had to go to school to appease his parents.
I only had to go to school when I was a kid. I didn't have to get a newspaper job. Wait, what are you saying?
Nick never had like any adult responsibilities in his life. He never had to take up the trash. He never had to mow the lawn. He can't even fix his own kitchen cabinet as a grown man. Your kids have chores, right? Nick, I don't think Nick ever had chores.
My youngest kid is kind of spoiled, but yeah.
He'll end up.
He's gonna have affluence.
Make him work. Make him mow the lawn. Make him do.
I did a video on Nick's affluenza, but I don't know. I was assuming that what I heard was correct and that his father was uber wealthy and that he was supporting him. That doesn't seem to be the case. And there's really no proof for it.
No, there is no proof. I just think everyone's trying to calculate, like, where's Nick's money coming from before he YouTubed? And it wasn't the 1 year.
But you're deciding 1 year. How do you know it's 1 year?
I'm pretty sure Nick said he quit after 1 year because he hated Wells Fargo so much.
And so he went to college for 4 years. Wait, he got a job and then went back and then went to law school, right?
Supposedly he was working at Wells Fargo and going to law school. Supposedly.
I'm looking up the LinkedIn because I'm just gonna do it. Except I don't know how to use LinkedIn, so just give me a minute. Booyah. experience. Personal banker for 1 year and 2 months. Good job. Advanced brokerage service for someone else for 2 years and then working for himself. So he had, I could see where he could have bought his home in there, and then I don't know.
You're a bank finance person, and Nick comes to you for a mortgage on a $300,000 house.
Okay.
He's only got 1 year of employment. Are you going to give him that mortgage?
Maybe not with 1 year, but it kind of depends what he has down and what his credit looks like. But yeah, his 1 year isn't nothing. He would really only need 2 years from, but if he has great credit and he's putting more down and doesn't want any points.
He doesn't pay his bills. Where's he getting credit?
But now Nick doesn't pay his bills. Then Nick was probably trying to keep
Do we think Nick was responsible before the addictions? I think that's a good question. Was he responsible?
I don't know. Okay, I listened to Will Heron and Kay this morning before we did this show, and Kay was saying, I kind of like trust her intuition. She's looked at him in the face, and wasn't a fan before, and she went back and saw his videos. Although I do feel like he leans a little hard towards Kayla, but I see where she's coming from. That she said she feels like Nick is a lost cause, and that's after like looking at him and feeling that like energy for what it's worth.
Yeah,
I kind of, except for Jesus, because that's where but God, I do agree. So I will always hold out that hope that he, there's something that is bigger than him that he might come around to. I kind of think he's a lost cause too. But he said Nick approved his own bank loan when he worked at the bank. Okay, so
that's his whole resume.
Kay said something else today that I almost brought up. Oh, that first that what's her fuck was driving the concubine. She was driving, and that the whore was driving Nick around. So he probably lost his license. And what's her name? I didn't even think she had a truck anymore. I thought she lost it.
Or is Nick doing the Jew logic, and I'm just going to let my woman drive me around because I'm such a king? Because Jew logic doesn't drive either. He lets his wife drive him everywhere.
Should I ask the AI? Do you have any idea if AIDS affects your eyesight?
Oh, it's gotta.
Then, well, he could just be medically not allowed to drive.
Allegedly. Or is narcolepsy? Here's one. How is Nick an insomniac and a narcoleptic at the same time?
I think you can have that. I think you can have that. I don't know. How is he in a fucking hot tub with a heat allergy?
But if you just pass out, like narcolepsy means you just fall asleep randomly, like quickly, and all these places.
Okay.
But you also can't sleep. So how do you randomly fall asleep all the time, but you also can't go to sleep?
So he has insomnia, so he stays awake, but has a problem where in his midst of staying awake, he also will pass out sometimes, right? Doesn't that sound like?
I think, and everyone's ignoring this, that Nick just went out and pretended to be a narcoleptic so he could get his Provigil prescription because he thinks it makes him super smart. Remember that movie Limitless? Where they took that magic pill and it made you like super smart for like 3 hours? I think that's what Nick thinks Provigil does for him.
Damn. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. That could be a good guess, or maybe he just has narcolepsy and the other thing. And
you trust Nick's word on having a condition?
I know, but I see he has a condition.
Wet brain, yeah.
That's how it started. I don't know what his condition is, but when he like tells his story, his big, like, when I get to tell my story, it's sad and funny all at the same time, or whatever. I bet it's something to do with his AIDS or his STDs or something.
He said that he had a low white. He went to remember I was saying you need to go to the doctor, and he's like, I went to the doctor. Everything's fine except I have a low white blood cell count. What's the first part of AIDS? You have a low HIV. You have low white blood cell count. Did Jamaican hookers, Vegas toothless rotten teeth hookers, like I think that the worst day of his life, remember, he had the worst day of his life and no one knows what it was. I think it's when he was diagnosed with HIV. And he's taken the.
Do you think that when he found out Mandy was okay, do you think he ever met Mandy in real life?
No.
Okay. That's out then.
Remember, he wanted to sign Mandy's tits, and
So-
Mandy wouldn't show up.
So, no, I'm under the impression that he knew Mandy was a man, the whole time.
Oh, that's a hot take.
Thank you. I like to be different. What just happened? No,
You're getting a message from.
they hit me up later, girl, on live. Okay, let's get into this. Nick Rekieta had a phone conference today. It was just a scheduling conference. Don't bother calling this number. It is over. Right now it's 9:15 in Minnesota, so you missed it. If you knew, you knew. I wouldn't have tried to get into this anyways. That would have been very awkward. It wasn't Zoom. It was just a call. Hi, it's me, Dr. Div. So it's over. And I was really hoping there would be some updates. Let me just go back and look just to see and verify that there aren't any. Mr. Quest.
It'll probably be after Minnesota lunchtime, I'm guessing.
I would have thought it would have been last night at like 9 p.m. Unless, of course, so what they're saying here is they're just getting their shit together, their ducks in a row to do their trial. And this says, get your shit together. All required disclosure. It says don't come if you're not ready to go. All your required disclosures pursuant to Rule 26 must be timely made. And I Googled that up. What is Rule 26? Duty to disclose. General provisions governing discovery. So all of the like information regarding where they're going, what they're looking at, what they're going to try to see says the name and, if known, the address and telephone number of each individual likely to have discoverable information, along with the subject of that information, the disclosing party may use to support its claims or defense. A copy or description of the category. So basically, they're going to, as they get closer to their trial date, they want to make sure each party has everything. So they can build out their cases. I am so stoked that this is going to trial. Nick says he's going to stream the depositions. You think that's still true?
No, that was when Nick was winning, and he was happy, and he was gonna school Monty. That was his blackmail to Monty. Oh, you want to do this? I'll stream all their depositions, Monty.
You don't think that it would be a win if he did that?
It would be a win for us. It would be a definite.
And him, if we're watching it through Nick, the data is the win. Right?
I don't think he'll. No, Nick's not going to do it. Nick can't even stream because he can't stream without a drink. So he can't do it.
He's doing warm Fanta. Don't you watch my videos? Damn. He's on the Christian diet. Yeah. He really, okay, I didn't mean for that joke to happen, but with that cooking video that he did, or the Jesus video that he did, or whatever it was with David, he's sitting in the hot kitchen cooking, and suddenly he's drinking Fanta. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? It just sitting there, warm Fanta on the counter. He's asking people to troll him. Okay, so what I did do is go. I think Nick has, okay, so in his Monty case, he was denied his interlocutory appeal. That's why we're here. And they're back on the docket, on the whatever, for trial. And so I went and I was rereading their arguments. And it sounds like Nick has one argument left. And that is that this was a matter of public concern. That they're both public people.
Yeah, that Monty's such a predator that I need to save the children. Basically.
And so I went to Minnesota and I started looking up cases where this was relevant to find out what it would look like if they got to the appeals process in this, what his argument looks like. Is he right? Is this a matter of public concern? Like, what does this look like in the eyes of Minnesota judges? And I found this case. It is really long, but I went through it already. The syllabus is The challenge statement in a defamation action involving a matter of public concern, a private plaintiff may not recover presumed damages absent of showing actual malice. So this is going to cover that. And which is what Nick keeps saying. That's why I say it is Nick's argument. He's saying there's no damages, knock it off. This was, what I said is fine. I stick behind it because it's true. And even if it wasn't true, it was substantially, I thought it to be true enough that it warranted speaking of it publicly. And you can't chill my speech in that. I'm pretty sure that's Nick's argument.
Yes, you're definitely steelmanning his argument.
And so using that case, I got ahead of myself and we didn't actually look at the timeline of, I think we let me back up. Let's just look at the timeline of this the defamation. It looks like it was filed in 2023.
Crazy.
They filed their motions to dismiss.
Do you remember when this first happened? We're like, that's so far away, 2025. We're going to be waiting for, do you see how fast that came?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because the appeal doesn't stop the clock,
No.
So, which I kind of assumed that it would. I don't know why I did, but. So he was denied. Obviously, his May denial, this interlocutory appeal denial, led to his criminal case.
Yes.
Right? It was sort of, I don't know if it was the last straw anyways. This was the denial. Judge recused herself, and now we're here. Okay. Listen, I made that timeline. I wasn't going to waste it. Okay, so back to this lawsuit. This is 50 pages. I got it down to 3. And it said, a plaintiff pursuing a defamation. This is going to get a little bit boring, a little bit law-y. So if you're here for the laws, you might wait for a little bit of the lore after we're done with this. I'm sure we have a lot to say. But right now, I really want to.
Our chat's educated. They like the law. We're lazy boy lawyers. They wouldn't be here otherwise.
Yeah. You're on YouTube, so I'm not sure if you're smoking, but I was gonna. Oh, never mind. I'm paying attention. It's the twins. It's 7:20, which means if you're new here, we smoke at the twins. Every twins. And so let's get into this. It says a plaintiff pursuing a defamation claim must prove that the defendant made A, false and defamatory statement about the plaintiff, B, and it has to be in an unprivileged publication to a third party, and C, harmed the plaintiff's reputation in the community. We're going to obviously focus on the second one. Says, as the second element suggests, the law requires privileges. Now, this comes straight from that Supreme Court decision, just for the record. This isn't me trying to be clever. So if it sounds wrong, it's not. I mean, it could be, but I don't think it is. So a qualified privilege. So the second part there was it has to be unprivileged. So now they're going to break down what that means. A qualified privilege is overcome if the plaintiff demonstrates that the defendant made the statements with malice. Malice means that the defendant made the statement from ill will, improper motives, or causelessly and wantonly for the purpose of injuring the plaintiff. To avoid chilling constitutionally protected speech, the Supreme Court has imposed prerequisites to recovery in certain types of defamation cases. In cases of defamation per se, which we are dealing with here, based on how Judge Fisher explained it in her ruling, she said that obviously saying he wanted to do some of the things Nick said were clearly defamation per se.
The court ruled that it is defamation per se. Not that they're going to fight about whether it is or isn't. The Judge Fisher ruled it is defamation per se.
So it says, in cases of defamation per se, the common law allowed harm to reputation to be presumed, and we have held that defamation per se is actionable without any proof of actual damages. Courts allow presumed damages because statements that are defamatory per se are virtually certain to cause serious injury to reputation, and that this kind of injury is extremely difficult to prove. Reputational damage logically flows from defamation, even if difficult to prove, and the potential harm to an individual's reputation is substantial in the types of statements that the doctrine of defamation per se encompasses. The only privilege media has is where it relates to public concern. So here we are. It is the private and public. it is the private and public concern of the statements at issue that provides the First Amendment touchstone for determining whether a private plaintiff may rely on presumed damages in a defamation case. So it says it's the private or public concern statements at issue.
Right.
So it's what he said. A private plaintiff may not recover presumed damages for defamatory statements involving a matter of public concern unless the plaintiff can establish actual malice. That's why he keeps saying it. Where's your actual malice? Because we're both public. The judge also said in the same place where she called this defamation per se, she called them both public figures.
Right.
So,
which I thought was wild. That means we're public figures. Oh.
I think that Monty didn't concede. I don't think they would concede to that, even for limited purposes because of the time frame. I really don't think that holds. I think, I just don't. But she did say it. We have held, however, that the mere failure to investigate is not. If the defamatory statements do not involve a matter of public concern, then presumed damages are available in per se cases. So if the defamatory statement does not involve a matter of public concern, then presumed damages are available. He has to prove that that's why I think Nick's going to say it's public concern, and he has to show me the malice. So we have held, however, that the mere failure to investigate is not dispositive of actual malice. Rather, to meet the actual malice standard, there must be sufficient evidence to permit the conclusion that the defendant in fact entertains serious doubts as to the truth of his publication.
Right.
So that's obviously for the attorneys to argue.
So would Monty going in all these different chats and defending himself in actual cases?
I mean, him asserting that he isn't that, I think it was something. The fact that Nick is introduced to Monty during the lawsuit where Monty was legally claiming that those claims were false, I think is a big deal.
It's a bit, yes.
So the court considers the content, form, and context of the speech as revealed by the whole record. It says in prior defamation cases, we concluded that the discussion of sexual abuse of children by their parents and legal recourse available to the abused child were matters that were certainly of public concern. So if you're paying attention, we can talk about Nick shit all day long. This was actually in that lawsuit. I'm like, wow, that's convenient for us. The Supreme Court has acknowledged that the boundaries of public concern tests are not well defined. The court made clear that the subject of the speech is not the only consideration. According to the court, deciding whether speech is of public or private concern requires an examination of the context, form, and context of speech. The facts of Snyder, which is a case that they are
not this Snyder.
No, this is the case that they're talking about here in this context, are particularly helpful in illustrating how to analyze whether statements are ones of public concern. So now they're going to walk us through how the elements that they look at.
Yes.
So Snyder arose out of a protest by members of the Westboro Baptist Church at a funeral for a soldier who was killed in the line of duty. The protesters picketed in public land, carrying signs that contained messages such as "God hates the USA," "Thank God for 9/11," "America is doomed," "Fag troops," "Thank God for dead soldiers," "Pope in hell," and "Pre-straight boys." The court concluded that the content of the signs plainly related to broad issues of interest to society at large, rather than matters of purely private concern, observing that the signs highlighted issues such as the political and moral conduct of the U.S. and its citizens, the fate of our nation, homosexuality in the U.S., scandals involving the clergy, which are, quote, matters of public concern. Importantly,
which Monty is not.
Importantly, because there was no prior relationship or conflict between Westboro and the soldiers, the court was, quote, not concerned that Westboro's speech or public matter was intended to mask an attack over a private matter. Important, obviously, because that's what Nick is trying to say. Monty shows up after years, and because Nick is canceled and Nick is pissed that that's why he's showing up. So he's using an old accusation that he knows better than to use, that he's not currently researching, and pretending it's a current matter of public concern that this guy does this thing.
Right.
So that's not
no
the
other
only
stick to swing.
So yeah, that's not true. But there's another element. It says, The Supreme Court has explained that speech deals with matters of public concern when the speech relates to a subject of a legitimate news interest. The key is that the communication must be made for a legitimate reason related to the duties or interests of the parties involved. And then they quoted the restatement of torts, which is what all of the legal profession, this is what they learn in law school about this. It says section 580B, comment H sets forth several useful factors that a court may consider in determining whether the defendant acted as a reasonable, prudent person under the circumstances in publishing the defamatory communication on the basis of his check or lack of check as to its accuracy and as to its defamatory character. One factor is the time element. Was the communication a matter of topical news requiring prompt publication to be useful, or was it one in which time and opportunity were freely available to investigate? Second factor is the nature of the interest that the defendant was seeking to promote by publishing the communication. Informing the public as to matters of public concern is an important interest in a democracy. Spreading of mere gossip is of less importance. How necessary was this communication to these recipients in order to protect the interests involved? If there was no substantial interest to protect in publishing the communications to these recipients, then a reasonable person would be hesitant to publish the communication unless he had good reason to believe that it was accurate. A third factor is the extent of the damages to the plaintiff's reputation or the injury to the sensibilities that would be produced if the communication proved to be false. Was the communication defamatory on its face? Would its defamatory connotation be known only to a few? I think Nick fails at every turn here.
He felted.
Yeah. Because it's provable. Like, let me show you.
And he knows it. That's what's the crazy part. That's why I knew Nick was going to trial, because he knows all this and he can't let it go.
Can you tell me if you can hear this?
Exhibit A. 2 seconds too long.
I don't know how long it is. What's it? StreamYard just told me that it lost audio. So tell me if you can hear this.
No.
Damn. Okay, let's try again.
Apparently StreamYard's been messing up for a lot of people.
I'm just going to stop sharing and reshare.
I just checked your YouTube. You're not streaming either, just me.
Yeah, no, I don't like to stream on YouTube. I like to save and smoke my weeds. Okay, so let's get back to Exhibit 1, see if we can get it to... Tell me if you can hear this.
A big shout out.
We're good.
Okay, so here's Exhibit A. So what we just read from the courts was that a pre-existing relationship might affect how the court looks at this matter of public concern. So let's hear. It's 4 minutes. I'm sorry, this is long.
So real quick, guys, a big shout out. There's a returning super fan. Guys, this last thing, I just want to shout out this super fan. They have not been around for years, and I have missed them greatly. But he's back. Ladies and gentlemen, he is back. The Americans with Disability Act Enforcement Division will no longer be bothering me because Montagraph is in the chat. Everybody give a big round of applause. The mastermind behind this banger meme. This is what did me. Montagraph made this like 3 years ago or whatever. And this is what he finally did.
This is what broke Nick.
Here. Nikki, head counsel for the Sweaty Sausage Squad. I will bend over forwards for your business. The back door is always open. Oh, yeah. Oh, Montagraph.
Story behind Monty over here.
What are you talking about? Story behind Montagraph. So Montagraph years ago,
assholes emailing me all the time.
He's a mentally deranged person.
It's skinnier than Kurt.
I was on a stream with Mr. Medicare, and he didn't like Mr. Medicare.
What happens if you lose? I can't imagine losing at this point. Like, there just isn't a case, and he has no damages. That's the problem with Montagraph. Like, let's say, hypothetically,
Okay.
Can you turn it up?
that my words somehow defamed him. Well, one element is damages. How is he damaged? What money has Montagraph actually lost anywhere? He gained subscribers. He gained viewers. Gained super chats.
Those were all
That's
haters.
a big hurdle. The question, I think, is do we win pre-trial or not? That's the main issue. If it goes to a jury, I mean, who knows what a jury's going to do? But if it goes to a jury, I mean, all the shit Montagraph actually does is going to be on the record. If they do discovery on me, what are they going to find?
Rico.
That was a different question 2 years ago, huh? Or a year and a half ago. And not only that, let's pause, because back then, his judge was Jennifer Fisher,
The liquor leaker.
the liquor leaker. So after his liquor leaker meltdown cast, where he touches himself at the end, he talks about her. He gets his criminal case. The judge on his criminal case ends up watching obviously that meltdown video, seeing how he speaks about about Judge Fisher. Judge Fisher recuses herself from this case. She's no longer on Montagraph's defamation case. Now his criminal judge, Judge Wenzel, is his judge. So his judge in both. So when he says all his stuff gets to come in, yeah, so does yours, because he's talking about his internet life, which in his other case, he's trying to pretend like he's acting, right? He's just an actor.
Al Pacino here.
He's the actor, but Monty's literally fucking listed as an actor, doing acting, pretending
he has an IMDb.
Umbrella Man. It's so bizarre how he's become Monty. You've become what you hate.
Wait, was Nick an actor? He was acting like a Chad dad, Christian monogamous dad?
According to Kayla's motions, he's just acting. You don't know if that was sheetrock dust, drywall dust on his nose. You don't know anything. Was that even alcohol? That really is her there. Hold on, I'm gonna show you.
That's crazy that a lawyer wrote that up.
Oh, that's not it. This one. No, that's not it. I'm sure I have it somewhere.
He's got $100 for a pedophile, but he doesn't have $100 for Monty.
That's not it. That's not it. Here it is. I can't fucking read it. It's too small. I'm pretty sure it says.
My client was simply acting like he was on drugs.
Yes, exactly. The search warrant must be turned over because my husband is a great actor. Look at him. Look how in character he got. He lost all that weight for us.
It's true. He's method acting.
Okay. Where's his thank you? Okay. But he really did write this yesterday. I think he's going to settle.
In the same day, he also said he's going to kill himself.
He said, no, that's okay. No, listen, we're not to the criminal side of this story yet, but when we get there, you'll see he said he's going to settle so he doesn't kill himself. I'm 100% on team. He's about to settle his criminal case but in December. And you don't think so, right?
No, because they want jail time and Nick doesn't. They want a bare minimum. I think they want Nick just to do like 60 to 90 days just to sober him up.
They think they've sobered him up. He has rules.
No, he's not sober. He's missing tests. He's fucking.
That was a lie from Keanu. Why would you believe that only thought?
Why would you? I believe her over Nick. Nick has more lies than Keanu. They're both liars.
Whatever. It was, I don't know. I don't know.
Keanu's trying to steal April from Nick. That's why I only care about watching that side of it.
Keanu's trying to steal April from Nick. No, she has Gino, man. He's like,
no, Gino's the baggage. Gino's never had a job in his life. He's a Jew pretending to be Italian.
He used to be on the fucking.
No, he didn't.
Wasn't he on that show?
On what show? His own show?
Oh, he just worked for himself. I thought he worked for something media.
Compound Media, which was a joke. They lost money every month. That's why Gavin McGinnis bought Compound Media, because they were losing like $50,000 a month.
You're moving the goalposts. Did he have a job? Okay, so he got paid.
He got paid, but he didn't have like a real job, real job. He got charity, pity money.
He showed up every day and did his
Well,
shtick.
no, he got drunk every day with the owner of the company.
That's are you just hating?
And the
right
owner
now?
of the company says Gino almost killed him with his drinking.
What a baby.
Gino's a human leech. He can't work. He can't. That's why he married Keanu, because Keanu's
make
got
that guy
money,
drink.
so
He
he
could
has
have
a free
just
place to
leached
live.
up. Oh my gosh.
Gino and
Who had-
Keanu are so broke they have a TV with a fireplace on so they can imagine being warm.
Now that's funny. Let's finish watching. Okay, this is just Exhibit A explaining how Nick had a relationship with Monty prior to this. Do you want to finish watching this? It's just
Yes,
another 2
yes.
minutes. Okay.
Are just fucking crazy. It's like, no, I laughed at Montagraph a couple times in 2019 when he showed up, and then he went away, and I forgot he existed. And then he popped up when my YouTube channel got deleted. So I made fun of him and laughed at him then too. And he got really butthurt about it. And then he waited months and months and months, and then he sued me.
For
The
nothing.
first time I talked about Montagraph was when Jim, Mr. Medicare, asked me to come on his show and talk about Montagraph.
This fucking, he's going to tell people he didn't change. Did you notice the change?
Look at all the coke on his shirt. That's just a blue shirt.
Losing a defamation lawsuit against someone calling him a pedophile. Because Montagraph wasn't able to intelligibly defend himself from being called a pedophile. And so he lost the case.
Not
Guy
that
who
he was
called
one.
Montagraph a pedophile won the case. And so when Jim introduces me to this guy, he's like, by the way, here's this guy. He just lost a lawsuit for defamation claiming people were calling him a pedophile and it was defamatory. He's like, no! And I'm like, gross.
The defendant falsely accused the plaintiff of pedophilia a number
This is that stream when him and Medicare are going over Montagraph's lawsuit.
of times during the
Nick
live
says it's
stream.
all Jim's fault.
Over 4,500 people heard and saw the video, which triggered this very lawsuit. So this is his follow-up, I guess, because the first one made no sense. And he's trying to, this is more specific. Is that specific enough?
No, I mean, it's not going to be specific enough to overcome the jurisdiction problems, because he would have to prove that he had directed the acts towards Colorado. If he really wanted to sue him, he would have to sue him in federal court or in state court in North Carolina or wherever the defendant actually is, where they
Sue him
have
in the state that
jurisdiction
he
over him.
lives?
That's the biggest hurdle he's got. It wasn't.
Yeah.
He's
Old
addressing
Nick.
other parts of the motion, but I got dismissed on jurisdictional grounds, so they didn't even get to this other stuff.
There you have it. Nick knows exactly why the fucking case was dismissed. He didn't lose because he's an actual pedophile. It was dismissed on jurisdictional grounds. And he said he needs to file in the state where the other dude lives. And then
Right.
Montagraph takes his legal advice, his sound, sober legal advice, and uses it against him. And it makes Nick lose his fucking mind. It is so crazy. I don't know what the last 10 seconds is, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have had to amend his pleadings rather than just answering in the motion. He could have requested that to the court. But I mean, this is why you get a lawyer, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So the one time Nick had good legal advice, he was stabbed in the back with it.
He used it on Monty.
Seppuku. Nick committed legal seppuku.
Do you want to hear when Nick talks about anti-SLAPP? Because that's
course.
another thing he's using in this case against Montagraph, his civil case. He's tried to, anyways. It was denied.
Another 2 seconds too long.
Wait, you can see this video? No, you can't see this video. What's happening? Something's happening.
Something's happening.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to get it to share this.
There we go.
Now you can. Okay. Tell me if you can't
Do you
hear
have
it.
any slap law in Minnesota?
No, there's no anti-SLAPP here. We found it unconstitutional, which I agree with. But
That's right. The Minnesota. I've actually cited that in another case. That's right. The Minnesota
Wait.
Supreme Court.
What you think anti-SLAPP legislation is unconstitutional?
yeah, I
I'm
hate
kind
it.
of inclined
Well,
to agree.
particularly the grounds that the Minnesota law, a lot of these laws try to short circuit summary judgment procedures and discovery procedures. And that was the most problematic
I
aspect
forgot I
of a
did
lot
this.
of anti-SLAPP laws. They've modified that, but that's why the federal courts have mostly struck it down and
The
said
reason-
state not a
Yeah. And the reason Minnesota doesn't like them is because it basically forces you to have a trial, but it curtailed discovery, and it curtails confrontation. And it's like, how are we having a trial without having a trial and without having all of the stuff that goes into it? So yeah, I personally, I think all of them are unconstitutional. Every single one in every single state. I don't think
Does
anti-SLAPP
Nick's
exists. We have motions
attorney
to dismiss
play this
for a
in court?
reason.
Or the state attorney play that in court?
No, because it's irrelevant. They also agree with him because he's in Minnesota and they're going to apply Minnesota law to his Minnesota case. Because, of course, the people of Minnesota are not bound by Colorado law. It's such a silly
The state
argument.
better have a bunch of these like locked and loaded for rebuttal.
I'm sure. Okay, what else do we have here? Do you want to see a couple of the statements he made?
Always.
Okay.
I
Can
still
you
see the
see-
video. There we go.
Out an outrageous tale. And those of you, there's been a couple trolls in the chat who are like, you don't have the right information about what really happened. Yeah,
no, that's
I
not
kind of do.
That's not a couple
He's a
trolls.
dishwasher.
That's a retarded man.
Are you talking? I know who you're talking about. He is retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Monty. You still fucking watermelons, you weirdo?
Oh, so it wasn't kids.
I
Weirdo.
very explicitly remember Montagraph stating publicly and openly that he routinely fists himself. And like, I don't know why anybody would do that, but he's like, yeah,
really
I do
loud.
that. And that's what I love to do. It was weird. I don't know why he does these videos and why he talks about it, but I'm sure someone can find the archive of it somewhere.
He's literally in the chat right now going, no, I didn't.
Defending his reputation publicly.
So what I did just then was I delivered a dry joke about what Montagraph said. But if you remember my previous statement about having sex with a watermelon, that wasn't a joke. That was actually on video. And that's, I'm not like, there's no like punchline here. That was real.
There is
And that
no,
dude's a strange man.
Ellie fan, Montagraph is a child diddler. Montagraph is, he's on this thing where he's like emailing
Hold on. If you have children in the room, which I can't imagine you should, earmuffs. This is the one.
everybody I know now. Montagraph has always been into sucking little boy cock, which is weird, but that's his thing. Look, I'm not here to stop him. I'm just saying he should probably be shot in the fucking head. Montagraph, you're a fucking faggot. Everybody knows you're a faggot. Clip this all you want and sue me if you want, you fucking faggot, child molesting fucking faggot. Do that. How about you try that? I don't care about him. Crusader says, so I know it's all
Challenge accepted.
Jews. Can you make that joke? No, we learned from Montagraph the other day that Birch Gold's founder is a former porn producer who is
You gotta tell me a story about behind
Iraqi.
Montagraph because this guy's emailing me.
There's a lot of lore behind him. I don't know. The most important thing is he had sex with a watermelon on camera.
That's the most important
It's the
thing.
most important lore about Montagraph,
Oh.
and it should never be forgotten by the internet.
Right? Don't you think if there was some kind of matter of public concern, he'd be telling them about it?
All the kitty stuff. The most important concern is he masturbates.
Because he didn't want to burn him until he wouldn't go away, and then he became a drunk asshole. Like he's probably pretty sober here.
Oh, he's drunk there. You can tell. So this
Oh,
is
he
all
is?
because Monty made one meme of Nick.
The sweaty sausage thing, or a different one?
What's that?
What meme?
The sausage sweetie one. That's what upset Nick. So Nick was obsessed with Monty from that day forward.
It's weird.
No way, Montagraph. Oh, Montagraph is
Jim Blossom. knows.
Montagraph is in the Rumble chat. You're defending your good name. You don't have a good name, Montagraph. You know you don't.
Publicly told you're defending.
In
my good name.
fact, let me talk to you real quickly. Like, no jokes. All right. This is a joke-free talk, Monty, from me to you. Everything I said about you, the real stuff like the watermelon, which is still weird, and the joke stuff like the kid stuff,
Oh, so now they're
which
jokes
is still
now.
weird.
So not a public concern, just jokes.
People can
Mhm.
reasonably form those opinions about you because you made that really weird fucking movie. And there are articles written about that really weird fucking movie, the snuff film of the kid that you made, that one. And so when people go, oh, this guy is a lunatic, maybe he does want to do nasty stuff to children like he did, like that movie he made. Monty, you're burning your brand here. You don't have a good name. Nobody goes, huh, who's Steve Quest? Who's this Montagraph? Oh, that's a fine, upstanding citizen. Nobody does. Because of how you act and what you do and what you say. You know what people say about me? Guilty. I'll take mine over yours. Your good name is garbage. And that's no jokes. This is straight talk right to you, not the homo talk from before. This is the straight talk. You enjoy it while you have it, because you won't forever, right? Like eventually I'm going to end up in a bathtub with no kidneys and a bunch of cocaine shoved in my nose.
Prophetic.
Oh, we had a snowy moment. I love that for me. Okay. Do we have any other? We have 3 more videos. Lolly Waffle is one of them. Pro Se is one of them. And What is Defamation is another one. You have a preference?
What is Lolly Waffle?
I knew you were going to pick that one, you weirdo. I knew
Lolly is the gateway to evil.
Probably. It's not sharing. Oh, is it sharing? It is. It's only a minute. Hold on. The irony that almost everyone is saying that about Nick now. Oh yeah, about his reputation. Yeah.
Says, as a Christian, how do you view Ralph and his addiction to underage girls like Faith and Self? Would you let May around children? Faith was 18 when Ralph had sex with her. I don't know about his interactions with her prior to being 18. And I don't know anything about Ralph and Soph other than what I've seen people speculate on. So if he's attracted to underage kids, that's not a Christian thing. That's just a don't
that's
do
your
that
buddy.
thing. But that's
your enforcer.
And would I let May around my children? Would I let her
children?
Would I let
Period.
May around children in general? I guess it depends on the context of what she would be around children in, like at a mall in a public place. I mean, I guess, But,
would you let her teach a all girls elementary school?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't. These hypotheticals, man. I don't know. I'm dripping. I'm dripping here. No, she'll touch all the kids. I don't know. I don't know anything about this person other than the fact that she and Digibro used to watch the Lolly, according to Digi, and so
according to her,
right? Okay, so according to her and Digi, then,
Yeah.
but based on that, I don't think so. I don't know. Like, if you want to watch Lolly, fine. Just stay away from kids.
No, not fun. Nick is surrounded by pedophiles now. His only people left in the bunker are pedos. It's funny. Nick created LawTube. Now he's created PedoTube.
Gross. I'm not going to call it that. Okay, we're going Pro Se next. And then we just have one more, and we can go into all of the new lore involving his criminal case and the sector, the whoever, whatever they're called, the pedoverse.
PedoTube.
Damn it, I said it. PedoTube.
Devilverse.
Deviltube. Okay, let's go.
That makes sense. So, reminder, David Schneider was very mad that I called him a cunt. My statement that Mr. Schneider is an absolute cunt is explained by Mr. Schneider's admitted lack of willingness to engage with me related to the matter before the court. A brief background.
He wouldn't talk to me.
Schneider served his frivolous lawsuit in mid-December. Around December 30th, I requested an extension to engage counsel and file a response until January 31st due to the holiday season complicating the retention of counsel. This is a simple matter of requesting an extension to an answer in a civil matter, something routinely handled between parties without issue. There was no history or animosity between me and Mr. Schneider. In fact, I'd actually stated publicly that all of my encounters with his firm were positive prior to this. When I was just starting out, in fact, I went and interviewed with them, and they're like, "We're not hiring." And I was like, "Okay, well, that sucks. I'm trying to get hired by somebody in this area." And they said,
No one wanted it.
"Here's what we'll do. We have a basement, and if you pay for an internet connection
in the strip mall,
you can set up shop down there on your own." I'm like, "Cool, that sounds great." They're like, "Yeah, we'll give you office space for free. All you have to do is pay for your electricity and internet." Like, awesome. 2 weeks later, I call them up. I'm like, "Hey guys, remember when you said that you would do this? Like, how do we do this?" And they're like, "No, I don't remember that."
Was he on
So I
drugs
was
then?
like, okay, fine, fuck you. I'll open my own shop. So I went and rented my own place and opened my own shop. No big deal. And then the first case I had against them, I went and I shit in their bathroom. A big one. Pepsi Man.
Yeah,
Hey.
Pepsi Man.
I see you spurging out in the chat.
Oh, damn.
My friend, when I was
Okay,
contacting
talking the truth.
Montagraph's lawyer, I was unrepresented at the time.
Yeah, damn it.
So I actually filed my motion today pro se. So
Oh,
I'm not represented. There's never been any indication that I'm represented. So
except
they
the videos.
kind of have to talk to me. It's just me pro se. Rather than respond to opposing counsel, in parentheses, as he represents that I was pro se at the time of saying this, I was not. He chose to file for
He just
default,
lies to your
forcing me
face.
to request an extension from the court rather than merely a
That's why I don't
demand
understand the
for extension.
Baldo bunker.
Mr.
Like,
Schneider
he-
would
all he
know
does
that
is
prior
lie
to
to you.
January 18th, I had engaged Mark Randazza as my counsel and was no longer pro se. Further, Mr. Schneider might have forgotten that he actually knew I intended to retain a lawyer and had intended to wire the retainer payment to the lawyer several days prior. That is, I indicated my intention to send a retainer. By the way, I did not do it when I indicated. So as far as the world is concerned, I am completely unrepresented.
Except they would get your email to Mark Randazza and your bank statements and prove you wrong. He's such a lying fucking snake.
Well, he has too many irons in the fire. He's like, because he was representing himself, he was bound by different rules. He wasn't allowed to go on the internet and lie about his case and do all this other bullshit. So he's trying to say, no, I had an attorney. This is because in the second one, Schneider had complained to the ethics board about Nick's behavior because he was actively representing a client because himself. And so he's saying, I wasn't. It's like, yes, you fucking were.
Nick said Schneider
there's a
did that
file
because he
in
wore
your case.
shorts. That's where the whole heat allergy lie came from. Nick is saying that Schneider reported him to the bar because he wore shorts to his office to deliver paperwork.
Shit. I remember that. I wish I would have remembered that yesterday, though, when I made that video, because there were
And
two
that's why
instances.
Nick had to come up with the bullshit heat allergy to justify to the court showing up not
He could have
dressed as a
died.
lawyer.
He could have died. The sun was out, Yana. Damn.
And how do people still believe the heat allergy when every vacation's in Jamaica, Hawaii, he's in a hot tub. He was remember his last little cooking stream? He was dying. He had to step outside because he was slaving over a hot stove for 8 hours all day.
That was
And he
so
literally had to
bizarre.
go outside and try and like bring his body temperature down, not because of the drugs, but because he was cooking all day.
I don't know, man. You can't make it make sense. Like, as a true crime aficionado, you watch this stuff because your mind can't do that. And you're like, wow, fucking human acting like a monkey. This is amazing. I love it. And so you just keep watching. Okay, we're going to watch the last video. And this is, as indicated, pre-ketamine meth coke Rekieta, explaining to his guest why this other dude called Mark Wade defamed him. So this is what defamation
This is what I found
looked like.
back in these days.
Yikes. He still has alcohol here though, right?
Yes, he was doing actual like sampling and tasting and talk. Like he was really breaking it down and doing it properly instead of just slamming it.
Okay, let's listen to it.
The reason I ask this is because what you said earlier and what I've seen on social media is you mentioned that Mark Wade went out on Twitter and said that you were encouraging fans to harass comic shop owners. And then I think he revised that statement and said something along the lines of maybe you weren't encouraging it, but you were kind of giving a wink and a nod to it type thing, implying that you are behind the scenes encouraging it while saying in public that you're not. So, and you have said explicitly on your Twitter account, I mean, I saw the tweet where you said, do not contact these people. Don't call and harass them. Don't contact them at all, basically. So with that looks like to me from a legal perspective is defamation, right? He's made a materially false statement. It's provably false because you have said the exact opposite. And he would have to defend that claim in court, for example. He would have to prove that you did say this. You did encourage people to go contact these comic stores to overcome the defense of, you know, that's a lie. Here's the actual evidence. And so I see this defamation claim that has in theory caused you harm because you had a publisher lined up. The publisher seems to have acted, at least in part, based on his statements, which appear to be false. And then, so that implicates Mark Wade on a personal level.
Man, that's all of the videos I had there.
Yeah, that was Nick before drugs and an alcohol addiction.
Yeah, telling his guest what he wants him to hear because he knows damn well that wasn't defamation. But when it comes to him, the bar is like way fucking different.
Oh, yes. Nick's right. That's why I said this is always going to go to trial. This was because Nick's going to try and do the Kyle Rittenhouse pixels, Your Honor. The pixels on the cocaine, you don't even know if they're really there. How do you know the pixels weren't? That's Nick in his mind. He thinks he's going to have a Kyle Rittenhouse moment. And he's going to stand up and the whole auditorium's going to clap for him. And
wait, in the Monty case? In his civil case?
In all of his cases, everything. Nick thinks he has the moment.
Listen, we have to bet because I bet you he settles his criminal case.
No, that's going to trial. I'll bet you whatever you want. That's going to trial.
Okay.
They want jail. They want Nick to turn on his drug dealer because they want to go up that ladder because it's a small community. And if they can get rid of the big guy, it's going to help the entire community.
You're ridiculous. You're so ridiculous.
And Nick's not going to give him up. So they're saying you're going to do a year in jail or give us your drug dealer. Nick's saying no, because he said there's only one thing I can't agree to. And it's he wants to please, trying to meet to please. Like, you just need to take that thing out. I just can't do that thing. And that thing is rat out his dealer or go to jail. He can't do.
I think Nick is trying to use his plea deal to keep the body cam footage private forever. And perhaps that might mean.
What do you think the state's asking for? That's my question. What are they offering?
I would say the state is probably.
Nick can't accept. You think it's just the body cam?
Yeah. Because they're probably offering him like a some kind of state sentence, as long as he doesn't, if he stays off drugs,
he
doesn't get in trouble for the next 3 years.
He can't do
but he has. Why?
He can't wait to drink again. He can't wait to do drugs. He said
he'll be able to drink again because that's not illegal. He won't be able to do drugs, I don't think.
I think it's probably that he remains sober will be one of the conditions.
You can't really.
I think
why?
So.
He's not in trouble for drinking. Right?
So like, we're going to take jail off the table, but you're going to be sober.
They're not allowed to tell you how to live your life. It's still they're not allowed to tell you, and you can't wear pink shoes and never take a ride on
a red. You have to be sober though.
Are they? Maybe if he was an alcohol conviction, but alcohol is not his problem, right?
Sobriety just means everything.
But he doesn't
legal or illegal. It's just
he
sobriety.
wasn't caught
You must remain sober. You're going to jail or be sober. What would you pick?
Jail. Fuck being.
And I think that's what Nick's.
I don't think they're asking. I don't think they're offering him jail or be sober. I don't know though. I
think jail's 100% on the table because they need to hold something big over him to get him to plead down to something they want. And if they just give him the thing he wants at the bottom, then
they don't want to waste time and resources on trial that they know is going to end in this same thing. So they're going to try to offer him what he would get out of trials pretty close. And he's going to not have a choice. He knows that he is going to lose his trial. He knows that going in. He's got very little to bargain with here.
Nick knew he was losing every single appeal and he still did it.
You do that, obviously. Of course you appeal. That's smart. That's what you do when you fucked up. You're like, okay, well then you brooks it, right? You're like, grounds, Grounds,
And I
ground,
also
ground.
think it's like cops, don't make me chase you or it's going to be worse. And they're making the state, they're making the government
This
work
is
and
what
it's
they
pissing
do.
them
This is
off.
how the system works. That's just how it works. He's
The
not doing
system's human
anything
beings
else.
too, right? So all these people are pissed off because Nick's calling them corrupt.
No, they're not. The judge sees this probably every other case. Somebody going, "Oh, I want to dismiss because the state fucking violated my rights." They're like, "Okay, sir, sit down. You're not like." Criminals acting away isn't a big surprise to a judge, and they're not allowed to be like, "Well, you rolled your eyes." For the most part, they don't. You rolled your eyes at me. I don't like the way your face looks, so you're getting X sentence. No, there's like guidelines to how they sentence these people,
But they
and
also have discretion.
sure they do. But what, except for the fact that Nick is an attorney making his profession look bad, that's the only place I see the judge might want to.
He's making the whole community look bad.
Yeah.
If it was New York City, no one would care. But remember, this is only like 400 cases in this whole community.
Yeah, but there's a lot of this happening, and so maybe that'll piss the judge off as well. Like he wants to like give a message to the meth of the community or to the
And I think Minnesota's Democrat and Nick's a white male, and they're gonna exploit him and use him to say, "Look, we don't just get black people, we get the white guys too." And I think Nick's gonna be made an example of.
Interesting. DEI fire.
Right. Especially with all this
I don't think so.
homophobic talk and all that stuff. They're like, can we make an example of this guy? He was on Netflix. This would show that nobody's above the law. We don't care what color you are. If you do the crime, you do the time.
No, I don't think. I mean, maybe I guess if everyone is so sensitive, but that is not
because they want to bring down the black prison population. They want to bring up the white prison population so it's equal.
Maybe. You think that's why they charge Lady Rackets with physical sexual abuse?
I think something's up there. There's because that hasn't been taken. Everyone's like, "Oh, it was a finger accident." It's still on there after all these hearings, and it wasn't taken down. There's something there. Either she was walking around naked, or allowing people to walk around naked with the kids, or something, or it's the what was that? The Duggar family, but it's Minnesota. Remember the Duggars?
The kids are with the kids doing kid stuff.
The brother was molesting the sister. I think maybe that could be a possibility that one of the daughters was in the room with the 16-year-old boy.
There doesn't even have to be anything physical. The act of maybe sharing a room.
That's it. Yeah, just them knowing that they're in their bedroom together when they're not allowed to be legally.
But why doesn't Nick get that charge then?
That's I'm trying to be nice, so I think it's worse than that.
I mean, she was at home with the kids, maybe because he was outside of the house and the warrant was for him. So it's like, these are his drugs. He's exposed them to it. So he gets an endangerment, like kind of add-on charge, but she gets this extra permitting physical or sexual abuse. It's like, what? Why wouldn't she? Because she got the same drug charge. Why wouldn't she get the same?
Right. That's what's crazy.
There's something else there. Yeah, I don't understand it.
And for people to think it's a finger mistake by the court, your paperwork going to jail, if it has the kids' sex stuff, they know that's going to put your life in danger, and it's not going to be an oopsies.
Dude.
Even your lawyer is going to go down there and say, "Hey, can you correct that, please? Thank you." And that's why when Nick was doing his little jailhouse hearing with the judge, he had to meet with Kyla to tell her, "Do not let them read out your charges."
I agree. I do agree with you.
No
there.
reason, because if they're the exact same charges, the only reason Nick had to meet with his client, say, "Don't let them read your charges out because the child sex stuff is in there. Don't let them do it. The internet will destroy us."
100%.
Because I can't think of any other reason that Nick would have to tell Kyla, "Don't let them read your charges out."
Kind of already talked about what's on this timeline. Oh, we didn't. Okay. So I hate to jump straight to this. I think we're good, but let's talk about witness intimidation and what the crap happened. So
yes,
it was Aaron's hearing. So for anyone who doesn't know, the foursome broke up and one of the guys is now getting sued by Kayla for allegedly distributing her nude of her.
Right.
During his arraignment, I don't know what that's called. His court, is it an arraignment?
His hearing.
During his hearing, it was streamed by Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph ended up getting a warrant for his arrest because of that. And I think that's where we're at, right?
We're streaming, yeah. So Ethan streamed Aaron's hearing, which everybody on the Dabbleverse and sector all wanted to see it, but nobody could get the link. Nobody could find it because it was taken out of public eye and it was only given to the parties there.
Yeah, it was so
So
bizarre.
if Aaron didn't give Ethan Ralph the link, how did Ethan Ralph get the link?
Exactly. So then fast forward to that Melton character saying on some podcast that he has all this information, like basically he has a direct tunnel into Aaron's mind or something like that.
Into his Google.
But he said mind. I think he's like straight into his brain.
Yeah, because he knows everything he's searching up, everything he's entering in Google, his whole search history.
Come to find out, they were in his email, they were in his bank stuff, they were in his home security system. Is that true?
That's what people are saying.
That's fucking wild, dude.
So
if your
Melton
bitch
was
leaves,
watching
you might
Aaron's
change
kids run
all your
around.
passwords. What a creep. Okay, that's
And
bizarre.
Nick had access to Aaron's confidential legal emails with his lawyers, which as a member of the bar, that is you're fired. You're gone. You can't do that.
Is that true? Even if
Yeah,
you're
you
nobody, you're not
because
allowed to look at someone's
being arrested for
Which-
drugs or domestic violence, that won't get you kicked out of the bar.
right.
Hacking into another lawyer's client privileged emails will.
Hold on, especially when the
If you're involved in
client
that case, it's even worse.
is the witness in your criminal case. Aaron is a witness to all of the drug use that he's acting, that he wasn't even
Right.
really, you know what I mean? So technically,
State's
I
witness
think
number
is where
one,
the
really.
problem gets deeper, where he's not just like the guy that fucks your wife and probably in love with her and also distributes her nudes for free. He also is a key witness and if nothing else, just to the drug stuff. I'm not even saying that as if Aaron is one of the narcs or whatever they were called, informants.
Yeah, rat.
Yeah, I mean, and he totally could be. So
He is.
I don't know. He doesn't really need to be the pastor, the daycare lady, and the sister. I think.
Oh, they
were
all
in that.
are. No, it's not one or the other. They all did. Aaron
We don't.
was the one in the house to say the coke was in the safe. This is how this was. Nick would
Yeah.
buy his drugs at the Chinese restaurant.
That's true. I remember him saying something about the safe when he was trying to drop like Easter eggs. And I thought to myself, if the safe is in the search warrant, then Aaron's a narc. And then it was. I was like, oh damn. So
And
maybe
then Nick says, I have 5 safes. Which safe are they
maybe
talking
they
about?
called to maybe they called to get us. I have no idea. But how, if the guns are in a safe, how is that an unsafe environment for the kids? And
The
was
guns
the
were
gun
under the
safe?
bed. with
One,
open
but in the
ammunition.
garage it says
It
that
only
there were
takes one. Once they find one, they just confiscate all your guns.
Yeah, but didn't the one under the bed have a lock on it?
I don't think so. I didn't see that in
Okay.
any paperwork.
I would have to look at it again because I thought when I was reading through it, I was kind of like looking at the evidence and deciding if this was good or bad. And I didn't remember until I got to the garage when it said, I think they said there was a shotgun or something. And I was like, wait a minute,
Shotgun in the garage, yeah.
maybe it was out of the safe or maybe the safe was open. It just
I
didn't
think
make
even if it was say they only found the shotgun in the garage, I don't think they would have cared.
Ranch.
But once they found the one under the bed, they're like, okay, we're taking them all because they obviously don't know how to keep these safe away from kids.
Okay. So let's get back to Aaron. So there is a statute, obviously in Minnesota, where you can't tamper with your witnesses. You can't mess with them. You could get 5 years in jail or $10,000 fine.
And this is way bigger than people think because the court doesn't want people tampering with murder case witnesses. So they have to make sure they clamp down on all witness tampering with an iron fist.
Well,
So people just don't get the idea like, oh, what's the big deal? A little witness tampering here and there. So they really hold this one tight.
not just that, but like who cares about a murder case? Any witness, like you could be a witness to a robbery or a witness to a kidnapping or a wife beating, and the thing you've witnessed is to somebody who's going to fucking whoop your ass, and you're like, I'm not going to fucking testify against this guy. These criminals or the courts don't protect witnesses or something like that.
Right. That's
so
what I mean.
Literally be any. Oh. So let's read it. It says tampering with witness in the first degree. Whoever does any of the following is tampering with witness, and it's intentionally prevents or dissuades or intentionally attempts to prevent or dissuade by means of force or threats of injury to any person or property, a person who is or may become a witness from attending or testifying any trial proceeding. That's A. C is all the same things. Threaten or cause injury.
They sent
in
a warrant to Mexico.
retaliation.
They're so mad about this.
In retaliation against a person who is summoned as a witness at any trial. D, intentionally prevents or dissuades by means of force, threat, or injury, person from providing information to law enforcement. Or F, intentionally causes threat or to cause injury to any person or property in retaliation against someone who has provided information to law enforcement concerning a crime within a year of that person providing information, or from within a year of the actor's release from incarceration. So if Nick is really saying that he's waiting to release anything on Aaron until after this is done, it looks like he's in for a year of wait time. And I doubt he's going to give a fuck about this in a year. Unless, of course,
that's why he couldn't hold it together. He had to give it to Melton to release. So then Nick wasn't doing it. I found a pedophile that I never talked to before that hates Aaron. So I'm going to go be his little...
And that's what I said before, dude. Remember when I was talking about Nick's Rico stuff? And I was like, he has this weird thing where he likes to put pedos, like he likes to like trap who he thinks are pedos, right? Monty, who he assumed was that Vito guy, who he assumed was
Vito the pedo, yeah.
And now this Melton guy, he likes to put them in a place. I think he wants to put them on his stool so he can kick the feet out from under them or something.
He's
or
just
he's
like
okay sacrificing this certain goat. It's fucking weird. But
he
I
keeps
Googled
people around him that are worse than him, then he can always be the top of the cream, the cream at the top of the
Oh yeah. That's his whole thing. He's like, forget comparing yourself to Jesus the Christ. I'm way better than, Jack the Ripper. Okay, so here where it says, all this times where it says threatens to cause injury or whatever, I was like, what is an injury? What is considered an injury in Minnesota? And they basically says whoever orally or in written makes any of the following threats hereby causes another person or thereby causes another against the will to do or any act or forbear doing an act, a lawful act, is guilty of coercion. Coercion is an injury, a threat to lawfully inflict bodily harm or threaten a person with robbery.
I wouldn't talk or I'm going to release your porn history. I wouldn't talk or I'm going to release your personal pictures.
That's what 4 says. A threat to expose a secret or deformity, publish a defamatory statement, or otherwise to expose any person to disgrace or ridicule.
If I was Aaron, I would shut the fuck up.
The sentence for coercion is 3. The worst sentence for coercion is not more than 10 years of imprisonment and not more than $20,000. Very similar to what his drug case looks like. And the reason you get this, because it's all based on the level of coercion. So what is Nick threatening to expose, and at what cost is it to Nick? Is it over $2,500 to him? And so I looked at his case, and the penalty for him is $500,000. So yeah, I would think he meets this bar for this larger sentence. I'm like, holy shit, Nick, stop.
So do you think the plea, well, now we got all this on top. So the plea agreement Nick thought he was walking into had, we're taking no jail time off and we're adding jail time in because of this.
Right. I do think this comes into play for sure. I don't know though. Does Aaron need to file this charge for this to even matter?
No, this is the government does this. Aaron has nothing to do with witness intimidation. Once the government's aware of witness intimidation, it's like domestic violence, right? They can't let witness intimidation just go.
So how do you know they're aware of it? Except that they have, they don't want.
Well, everyone's emailing the judge and the courts and Aaron.
So you know,
obviously.
So
Aaron said he went down to the police station over this. He actually had to go down in person and talk to him about this and gave him all of his info. And
shoot, I forgot to watch chat. Sorry, chat.
So they're well aware of it.
Several years ago, I saw Rekieta drinking during one of his YouTube live videos. I figured he was a problem then. I had no idea how bad it was. Ray
Right,
Taylor?
right.
Who could have known? You cannot have guns and drugs in the same place at the same time. Well, unsecured, right? Or does it
Unsecured,
matter?
Yeah. No, I think if it's in a safe, I think you might be okay. You can't possess them. You can be on drugs, but you can't possess them.
5 years for hacking his computer, 10 years for threatening to expose him later.
Yeah, I think the exposing, the blackmail is worse than the hacking. And I think the state's taking that real serious. Like,
Hi, Hans. Good
hey,
to see you. She likes the disclaimer. I'm using the old school Nova's is from Canada, so people understand what's happening.
the safety, the backup safety. So I definitely think Nick is gonna do time in jail. I think that's
I don't know.
he's gonna plea out to 1 year, or he's gonna plea out to 5. I think that's what it was.
I actually think he will be like just have a like suspended sentence, or whatever it's called, like a stayed sentence. I don't.
But I think a
he's gonna
suspended
act-
sentence would have to come with him being sober.
And maybe that's what he. Well, okay, hold
Remember,
on.
there's
He
5
said
kids
something.
involved. There's a CPS case involved. He's going to therapy and arguing with the therapist about what is an addict.
This is yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Today I have
the
to go do
pedophile.
something that is anathema and whatever.
But he didn't do it.
It's against everything he is.
Because when he got there, he
did-
was going to accept a plea deal. That's it right there. I was going to accept a plea deal. And then when he got there, it was way worse. So he said no. And that's where we're at now.
So then why does he say this?
I think, was that before he went in there?
No, look at that, 4:14 p.m.
He probably just got drug tested and had a bump.
Okay, then explain this. Unfortunately, I'll probably kill myself if I try to keep going. He's not going to keep going.
He's going to keep going. He's
What do you
been
want to bet?
suicide baiting.
What's this mean to
dating
you?
for months.
What's this mean to you? Just
This
bullshit?
means that he's going to take a plea because he's so stressed he just can't handle anymore. Fine, he's saying I give up. Oh, did we lose her? Oh, there she's back. He's saying I give up, basically. If I keep trying to argue with the government when I know I'm wrong.
So you agree with me that he's going to take a plea? He just has to get a good plea, and you think in that plea he's going to get jail time?
I think the state and a lot of people want him just to do 90 days to get sober, whether it's in jail or inpatient rehab where he's not allowed to get out. He has to be incarcerated for 90 days.
Okay, let's just say that. Let's hypothetically, right? Nick is telling the truth. He is sober, and what you're seeing manifest as whatever you think it is actually more of like a personality disorder or that other thing. Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, Nick said he has a problem with authority, then he can't just obey authority.
But what I'm saying is you can't fix that. And the court has seen drug addicts, and they've seen narcissists, and they've seen people with BPD and bipolar.
And they're all in jail.
I'm sure they can't make a diagnosis, but they could probably realize like getting him sober is not going to fix this. He will always have these personality disorders. Allegedly, I'm not a fucking psychologist.
But Nick wasn't like this until the drugs and alcohol, right? Remember his whole life leading up to that, he wasn't oppositional defiant. He was just a nerd.
Let me read this. It says oppositional defiant disorder. Even the best behaved children can be difficult and challenging at times, but oppositional defiant disorder includes a frequent and ongoing pattern of anger, irritability, arguing, and defiance towards parents and other authority figures. It also includes being spiteful and seeking revenge, a behavior called vindictiveness. Now, I'm pretty sure Nick told us about how he used to kill animals, and that I feel like is
But that's all post drugs. Think of Nick.
No, that was pre-drugs.
I don't think so. Was it?
When he was killing the rodents and like drowning
the
them.
skunk?
Yeah.
No, I think that was when he was like starting to get into it.
I don't know. But okay, he also said that he confirms Aaron's bat story, right? That he said Aaron threatened me with a bat. He's told the story himself. In
He
that
threatened
story.
Aaron. He threatened Aaron with a bat because Nick was abusing his wife in a bathroom.
No. He threatened
Yeah,
Nick
he
with
said
it.
he put the
Aaron
bat
threatened
between
Nick.
him and his wife to stop Nick from yelling at
Yes.
her.
Stop Nick, right. You
Right.
said Aaron. So yes, and in that story, you're right. Nick is in Kayla's face. And so that is a very interesting thing to admit. I wouldn't fucking
Right. Like I was being so aggressive and angry and violent towards my wife.
from Super
Another
Bowl.
man had to step in with a bat to stop me.
What
A
do you
man
think
that's
they're
much
gonna
bigger
come?
than I am had to go get a bat because I was in such a drunken blind rage at my own wife that he had to get a weapon to stop me from doing it to her.
Is Nick taller than Aaron?
Nick's only 145 pounds.
Are you serious? You don't know that.
Yes, no, Nick has said it. His target weight, his goal weight is 155 pounds, and he was getting skinnier and skinnier past that.
Are
That
you
was back
kidding
when
me?
EVS was forcing him to eat a pie. Remember, everyone was like
No, I
actually
didn't
worried
watch
about
it.
him.
Wow. He was
So
joking,
Nick is,
right?
yeah, no, I think I sent things on Discord that
He's
I've
6
watched
foot
midgets.
something.
He's 6'2", 155. I've watched midgets box at 5'1", 155 pounds. So Nick weighs as much as a midget.
Wow, that's sad. So was it the fat shaming that did it? Remember when he grabbed that painting and everyone saw his gut? Is
I don't
that
know
what
if it's
happened?
fat shaming or that's the same time when he got into the coke. Both of them, like,
Because in a couple of these videos, he did look fat, like facially fat.
he just
Like
looked like
he
a
was
dad
really,
bod.
yeah, like he was enjoying his money. I
And then
always,
that,
I
well,
don't
no,
know.
Kayla's lawyer said that he's on Ozempic or something.
Yeah, but he's on it then and he was on it now, right? So that wouldn't, I don't know. I don't know.
And
Okay.
yeah, both of them got like Nick and Kayla both lost a ton of weight because his sister said she looked anorexic. It was so bad.
She did look anorexic. Did you see her in the church video?
She just looks like a skeleton with skin
It was bad.
and fake boobs.
No.
Yeah, she got boob job and a facelift. That's why she always looks
No
surprised, like she's in a
way.
fast car with the window down. Like,
You're serious?
oh yeah, go look at old pictures. Her eyebrows were way closer to her hair.
She never looked the same in any two pictures. I
Remember,
did a video of it.
Nick wanted her to. He paid for her to, like, all these surgeries. You have to look better. I need something better. Like, because he was addicted to porn. He wanted a young wife whose body wasn't destroyed. So he kept getting her all this plastic surgery, and then, oh, here's a 20-year-old girl. Kyla, you go sit in the corner.
I love that you can't get any of their names right. What is Ozempic for? I'm gonna find out for you.
It's the new
Ozempic.
celebrity weight loss injection, but it actually makes you fatter if you stop.
It's for
taking it,
diabetes.
No, it's for weight loss.
It
It might be labeled for diabetes, but it's actually a weight loss drug. All this TV.
Oh, you're right. It says it's given as an injection once a week, and it works to mimic a hormone that regulates appetite and glucose. So they're using it for its appetite suppressant.
Right.
Damn.
But once
Are
you
they
stop
fucking
taking it, you
injecting
rebound
this?
like way worse.
Isn't this worse? People are like pissed off about being a meth head. Forget it. If you're injecting anything to manage your weight or your personality, you're a meth head. And if it's not meth, I don't care.
If you're an
Oh my
unemployed father
God.
of 5 children, wouldn't you be like kind of fit, playing with
An
your kids, running
injection.
around, doing stuff outside? Because you don't work, so your whole day should be spent.
Can he
hanging out with
take
your
it in a
kids.
pill? You said Ozempic?
It's an injectable, yeah.
Holy crap.
But it's
Wow.
really bad for you. Everyone that's taken it regrets taking it.
He's on it. Yeah, how would he have gotten it though?
He'd have to get a prescription for it, but that was Kayla's lawyer was saying
Well,
that
how the fuck if you don't have diabetes? How's your doctor going to give it to you?
Nick doesn't have narcolepsy either, but he's got a fucking Provigil prescription.
How do you know?
Nick is not. You can't be a narcoleptic and an insomniac at the same time. It's not possible.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
So-
what Kayla's lawyer was saying. Nick's rapid weight loss was from. It wasn't from drugs. That drug recognition expert is an idiot. Nick is just on a good diet. Except EBS was trying to
Snickers.
force feed him to eat pie on video.
No, didn't Nick do that video about his diet? I think I might have clipped it where he was like, he had a Snickers in the morning and like a bag of Doritos or something. That was
Yeah,
his
because he's
whole
trying to get
diet.
down to 155 pounds at 6'2".
I don't remember that part, but
'Cause
okay. He
EBS
in
was trying
the
to-
video, he says something like, "I fell asleep. I took this med. I take this." Something he was like trying to. I think he was talking about the medicine he's on because he takes something for his heat allergy.
He's on that. What's that Glad, the anti-HIV drug?
That's a rumor. That's a rumor from Nova. Nova from Nova Scotia. You could find
Is
him.
it
He wears
Glad? Is that what it's called?
flying
Glad?
a plaid flag. I don't know. You know, you know.
Or he was on the AIDS. There's the AIDS weight loss drug. That's actually a drug. Do you know that?
Oh, anti what?
Type in AIDS weight loss drug. Nick, see, I was always right. Nick had the AIDS.
Weight loss candy. Is it?
No, type in weight loss drug.
Damn, you're gonna fuck up my social credit. For adults with Zep.
No, it brings up Ozempic right away. No, it was try images. There was an actual weight loss drug in the 70s, I think, or 60s, and it was called AIDS.
I
See,
think
this
this is. I'm pretty sure this is fake.
No,
Did you
Ozempic's-
look in? Not Ozempic, AIDS, the AIDS thing.
No,
you're
no,
trying to
the
make.
AIDS is real. It's legitimately an actual drug. Type like 70s drug or something. Or
So
capitalize
it's
AIDS.
not AIDS weight loss. It's AIDS brand. I think you just spelled AIDS.
There you go. AIDS. That's it.
We're going here.
That's Nick's defense right there. Your Honor, I was on the AIDS.
This. Try the AIDS reducing plan. Delicious tasting AIDS candy contains vitamins and minerals, no drugs. Taken with a hot
Oh, Nick can't take it then.
AIDS helps you curb your appetite. You eat less because you want less, so you lose weight naturally.
Damn.
Thousands of men and women have lost weight.
How could we be this correct, Nova? Oh my gosh, he does have AIDS.
Hey, it's Nick's legal
So
defense.
did he get introduced to it in the Caribbean? Were we right about that?
Oh, 100% at the Queen of Spades event.
Damn. That's where you get your AIDS. That's funny. We're not going to watch this 8-minute commercial, but that's
No.
wonderful.
It is real. Just proving it's real.
Yeah, AIDS for all you internet sleuths.
80s. Oh, it was even more recent. It was the 80s. Right during the AIDS epidemic was exploding. That's a brand killer, eh?
You never know. You might want to tell people you're on AIDS and have a bunch of chocolates laying around so they don't really know what you got. Make them guess.
I think that is what I think Nick caught AIDS in Jamaica, and that was the worst day of his life. That's what everyone doesn't know, and I think that's it.
No, dude, if you caught AIDS, I don't think you even get symptoms for like years.
That's why
You
he's
wouldn't
taking
even know he had AIDS.
No, there's an anti-AIDS pill now, so the gays can all have sex while they have HIV and not pass it.
That is true. You know that if you have that, if you are undetectable with your AIDS, you don't even have to tell somebody you have AIDS anymore.
Yeah, that's insane.
But I guess if you're undetectable, do you have fucking AIDS?
Yes. You'll
You
catch
do
it.
too. So it's so weird because they just bring down the count of your AIDS so low that they're like,
yeah,
doesn't count. I don't know.
No one's gonna have
in
sex with
California. It used to be a felony to not disclose your AIDS to somebody.
It should be a
Now
fucking felony.
not
It should be
anymore.
fucking
They've
murder.
changed
Same
it.
as in Canada. We had a football player got arrested for fucking like 12 girls with AIDS and never told them.
We could argue about which pie is best.
Apple.
Chocolate pie. Like a mousse. I'm more pie wise.
A good apple pie.
It's like just days away from today's Wednesday. It's tomorrow. So I'm gonna go with pumpkin pie so that everybody
Here's how
knows
you know
weird
pumpkin
thing.
pie is not good because you only eat it once a year. Apple pie you
My
can eat all year long.
You eat no. I eat apple pie more than once a year. It's really easy to make.
When do you eat it?
When I make it. When I think about it. It's so
June?
good.
You make pumpkin pie in June?
I'll make a pumpkin pie in June. I'll make it in February. Don't threaten me with a good time, pumpkin pie. Brittany
remember
says
Nick- Oh, go ahead.
I think you got Hep C. I think you might be right, Brittany.
Remember Nick was having sex with hookers at 6 a.m. in Vegas.
Brittany, put
And
your
they were-
address in chat. I'm going to sue you for defamation on Nick's
And they were
behalf.
so gross that even Camelot said no.
Just kidding. Huh?
You didn't see that video?
Bro, I do not watch this sector. I try to do law and none of the lore.
So Camelot was talking about a Nick story when they were up till 6 a.m. and they were like, Camelot's like, let's shut her down, let's go to bed. And Nick found a toothless, rotten tooth hooker in Vegas on the street. And Nick asked Camelot, do you want to go hit this up? Do you want to get her? And he's like, ew, no.
Nick asked Camelot?
Yes.
Or Kayla. Okay. Nick
It might
asked-
even be on I might have put it on my YouTube. But yeah. She was so gross, even Kumalot.
I'm kind of glad we're bringing this up.
No.
Not
So
necessarily this.
Nick's having sex with any degenerate. Remember, he used to go to the Asian fucking parlor all the time too.
Why would you get a prostitute in Vegas when you can get one? Like, there are legal whores. You don't have to
Nick
get
is
one
a
without paper.
crackhead. He's a drug addict. He doesn't have control over anything he does. The drugs control Nick.
That's sad. Dang.
Like the $1,000 for the
Doesn't he care
abortion
about
in
his-
Jamaica was probably just for the $1,000 prostitute for the night.
But can we talk about something totally unrelated? I'm sorry, Chad, if you have something better to do, you might want to do it now because it's going to get weird. So I heard from the grapevine that on the Kino Casino, that the big one, Pikachu, was watching the little one do sex with some of these toothless whores one time, and he helped another fat guy put his wiener in a whore. And is this true? That
I don't know. I wasn't there. They were in Vegas, so the possibility is very high.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well then, is
But
that
there are also
not
two Canadians who don't have kids.
Yeah, I was
partying in
gonna
Vegas.
say, I feel like that's a bro move to help your homie get it in the whore.
That's a little gay. That's a lot gay.
Ugh. Is it though?
Yes.
You're facilitating
Yes.
straight sex. It'd be gay if you took it out and put it in your mouth.
No, if you're in with arm's reach of another man's dick, you're gay.
Not
You
if you're
should do
fucking bitches.
No. Yes. No. Why do I
Mm.
need to fuck in front of another dude?
Well, sometimes that's where the bitches are.
No. You take the bitch to wherever you want to go.
Dudes have been fucking in front of other dudes since hotel rooms put two beds in there. And
Those
it
are the
became
closet
cheap. And per
gays. They're
diem
looking at
went
the
low.
other dude. They're not looking at the girl they're fucking. They're both looking at each other going, oh, nice penis. Like they're gay.
I don't know why Pikachu was watching, but I do feel like if you look over and you see your homie like just swatting his balls on this girl, you're like, you help him get it in. You're like, come on, bro.
No.
Stop.
Even,
Yeah.
even if you're in the same hotel, you stay on your bed, they stay on their bed.
No, you're so afraid of like touching a wiener.
Yes.
It's not gonna make you gay. It makes you a homie because you help.
100% make touching another man's dick makes you gay. Unless you're a doctor with
That's
rubber
not
gloves
right.
on, you gay.
Worse, did worse before. See, big deal.
Yeah. Andy's a complete retard, former croquehead, everything. He did it all. That's why he can fucking see Nick for what Nick is. He was there. He climbed out of the darkness.
Hey, hold on. You know what? I can't read your name. It says, Law, it's so funny to see people that try to make it seem worse than it is or make it seem like it's no big deal, even though they admit it was a big deal. There's a total lack of principles in this lot. It's not us who did it. We're just trying to understand it. You can't blame us for this.
Exactly.
Can it be? I think it really can just be a bro move. There's zero reason to touch wieners. Okay.
You're right.
She's trying to turn you gay. No. This is gay.
Yeah.
He's
Oh, I
so
know.
gay. No. I'm trying to help Nova out of the closet because he's been gay for a long time. He told me the other
Go help
day,
Aaron.
look, okay, chat, help me with this one. Do gay men like lingerie or do straight men like lingerie? Nova tried to tell me that if you're a straight man and you like lingerie, you're probably gay.
Right.
Because straight men like nude women.
Right.
I think that's too far.
We don't want a girl prancing around. We just want to fuck her. We're not, ooh, that's pretty lace. Ooh, that's
Yeah, but what
Straight
happens if
men
you've
don't
been
do that.
fucking this same girl forever and then she comes out and something
Well, I
else?
had
You're
this
like,
happen when I
"Hey."
was young. So I don't know, I was like 19 or something. I had a girlfriend that was like 23. She's like, oh, I got something for you. I got something for you. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. She got herself bra and panty set. And I didn't even see it for 5 seconds. So I just threw it on the floor. and she was pissed that I didn't pay attention to it. Because we don't care. We don't care what we're trying to open the present, not fucking look at it.
Okay, but what happens if you fucked your present and then it's over and then she puts on the lingerie and that's how she's going to stroll around the house? Is that preferable to like mom jeans?
No, because we want it readily available if we want another go. A man always wants a woman
ridiculous.
naked. We don't care
Your
about
bitch
your
needs to get
lingerie.
back into chat and tell me how ridiculous you are right now. Come
Lingerie is
back.
for females and only. Like men don't care about lingerie. Okay, get it off.
No, gay men like dicks, not lingerie. We just discussed this. I agree with you
Straight
now.
men don't care. We don't care. Take it off. Oh, they're
Okay,
matching. Don't you see that they're matching? We
Yes,
don't
She
care.
says you're correct. Almost all men concerned with whether something is gay or not are probably gay. I do agree with you here. Nova's afraid to wear pink because somebody might think he's gay. He's right.
We just don't. It's not that we don't appreciate you guys doing it. We just don't care.
I don't know. Justin says it's nice. It's not nice. That's what I'm saying.
If a woman has lingerie under her clothes and we can get you to strip down to your lingerie, we're just getting the clothes on. We're working our way down.
But it's like, I don't know. If you have to have pizza every single night, sometimes you want like the crust to have a little garlic on it.
Well, that's a female things. You guys need to build it up in your mind. We just need to see naked titties and we're good. We're going. You guys have to work it up. You have to build
but what
up
about
the romance.
foreplay?
You have to build up the heat.
We don't just want to fuck right away.
We don't
Maybe
care
we're
what you
like,
guys want,
hey.
though.
See,
don't
that's
care
the
what you guys
problem.
want.
And that's why I feel sorry for your girl. That's how you know he's gay. He just thinks he's supposed to put his dick in a vagina and the world is solved. That's not it. Gay wad.
That's how straight men think.
Dorothy D said, if Nova was correct, explain how strip clubs exist on every fucking continent.
Show me a strip club today. They're all closed.
Come on, that walkout and lace is sexy as fuck. See, Justin's not a gay man.
Okay, walk out, and then what are we saying? Now take it off and get in bed.
Men in flannel and trucker hats don't necessarily speak for all men. I do agree here. Do a poll if Nova is gay. I wish I knew how. Nova, do a poll. You can do it on YouTube side. Ask if you're gay. We'll find out.
Like Victoria's, if you took all the pictures of the Victoria's Secret models and showed them to a bunch of guys and say, do you want to see them like this or would you rather see them naked? What are the guys going to pick?
I didn't listen to you. Say it again.
If you showed like 5 pictures of Victoria's Secret models in their lingerie and said to the guys, do you want to see their in them clothes or naked? What's a guy going to say? A straight male is going to say, let me see them bitches naked.
Okay, like if you had a choice to see a girl one time and it's with clothes or naked, that's such a ridiculous comparison to what I've said. I'm talking about the same bitch you're going to fuck every night, and sometimes she might show up in some cute ass lingerie.
We don't care.
You're gay.
We don't. No, we don't care.
That's just how it's going. Yeah.
Just get naked. We'd rather watch you prance around naked as nature intended than wear some.
You're right, Brittany, because the imagination is what you see some curves and you're like, oh my God, I remember there's naked in there because I've seen your titties and I know what they look like and I'm not a virgin. So it's like, I want a little imagination and then we're going to fuck in a second, because sometimes waiting and prolonging a gratification, what's it called? Anyways, instant gratification isn't always where it's at. And if you're just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, you need to take a class. There's a master class for finding the clit. You should
teach the classes.
No, you do not. Poor Nova Scotia, if that's the truth. Did I just dodge you? Damn, now everyone knows your last name.
Yeah, Nova Scotia. We just had our election last night.
Oh, who won?
The right-wing people won by like a super majority. Like 90% of the province.
Nick Fuentes has said, well, congratulations. My son wants us to annex Canada and take over because you have oil, and I refuse to engage with him. That's what I said. I said, no, hell no. They want to be Americans. Too bad. We're building a northern wall and fuck their oil. We'll take Venezuela.
Liberate us. We got all the oil. No. You can forget about the Middle East wars because we have all the oil. You don't have to fight for it. You just have it.
I need to read this. Nick Fuentes has said having sex with a woman is gay because they might want to cuddle afterwards. There is clearly a crisis in this community.
Nick Fuentes also has a black light to search for cum. He's a cum hunter.
So are you. You did a whole video about a sleeping bag full of another man's cum.
That was Aaron being super gross and gay.
That was
That's
your
the most
video.
disgusting. That is worse than the monkey island where all the monkeys have like herpes. If chat doesn't know, Aaron used to jerk off in a sleeping bag
No,
over and
I mute
over
you.
and over.
Oh my God, that was so close. I'm so glad I saw that mute button. That's actually God that did that right now. He's still talking. We're going to leave it. If we annex Canada, we're deporting all the snow Mexicans to regular Mexicans. First order of business. Snow Mexicans.
He means Indian.
Oh. Listen, I can't confirm or deny it. I don't know what. I'm not sure if this is bad or good. Either that or they can go north into the Yukon. The oil isn't worth the price we're taking, and all those Canadians. Jim Turner, you and I are going to be best friends. I definitely agree. That's what I told him
Canada's
too.
just
That's
like
what
a cold California, though. You should like
it is not. It is not. It's more like Minnesota or
No, California.
it's
Even
not.
our right-wing conservatives are pushing the tranny thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So we don't fucking want more of you. We don't want more Californians. That was a bad sell. That was your video, no, but you did that.
I just clipped it.
I was thinking Michigan, but y'all are safe because you have Detroit. Detroit,
Somalia.
toughens you up
Little
a bit.
Somalia.
That's Minnesota. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
Michigan too.
No, I think legitimately they call that place Little Somalia is in Minnesota.
Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. They need more white people in jail so it doesn't look so bad. They look racist without white people in jail. Oh, speaking of, and everyone thinks Nick's a first-time offender. That only works in your favor if you cooperate.
No, it doesn't. You're always a first-time offender if you're a first-time offender.
No, they only take it into account if you're a cooperating witness. Your Honor,
No, they
he's sorry
don't.
for his crimes. He's a first-time offender. They don't just say, yeah, he's guilty, but he's a first-time offender.
You're
so we'll be
wrong.
nice to him.
You're wrong.
You must cooperate to get leniency.
There is some truth to the cooperation will help grease those leniency wheels, but you're wrong about being a first-time offender. The sentencing guidelines exist to find out if you've done this before, you get fucked harder, and if you haven't done it before, then okay, well then this is your time that you get your little pass, unless it's too harsh, and then they, we're at where Nick is at. But a first-time offender is a first-time offender. Full stop. And Ivan, I think we are done for the day. How you feel, Nova? Do you have anything else you want to add? Because we could just pop out of here and I can go get breakfast.
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
All right. Cool.
Sleeping bag stories on my YouTube channel.
All of these videos that we've done about Nick and Montagraph and the interlocutory appeals, if you feel like catching yourself up before trial, they are on my Rumble channel.
Oh, hang on. Let me refresh to see if we have a Monty update.
Okay. Let's do that.
Research. Bing, bong, bing, 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 bop.
He's on a dial-up.
Nope. No updates.
Nope. I'm just checking also, in case you're wrong. This only happened once, but you are correct. Okay, so there's nothing new. This was fun. I hope we don't leave and think of something.
For the record, how much is Monty going to win in your guess? A dollar number.
I think Monty will win. Are you including? I think he's going to win costs. I think he's going to win his attorney's fees. We won't.
Yeah, ignore the lawyer's fees. Just the monetary award. Then we'll throw on the icing.
I think he will get $350,000 total, like both, like punitive and compensatory.
I'm saying $1 million. They need to make an example of this man because he said the worst possible. I don't think he could say worse to a larger audience, to being a lawyer, knowing better, like all the ingredients. I think it's going to be the largest monetary award in Minnesota history for defamation.
But if it goes before a jury, they are going to be able to put into the jury's mind that this isn't Nick's idea, that there was this talk on the internet. You know what I mean? I think that will also matter when it comes to damages.
But then I think they're going to show our clips of Nick saying the exact opposite.
Maybe.
I think they're going to use Nick against Nick, and Nick knows they're going to use Nick against Nick.
Plus, they're in super fucking right-leaning Minnesota, right? So all these Are they left?
Oh yeah, Minnesota's very Democrat.
Oh yeah, I was meaning to say left. I don't know why.
So they support the
thinking
pedophile
left.
community, so
Yeah.
they don't want it to be a bad name.
Yeah. So yeah, it is definitely going to be more harsh for a jury to hear the words Nick chooses, even though they're First Amendment protected for the most part. You can just pretty much show them any of his shows and they're going to hate him out the gate. So
Like,
there's that.
the penalty wouldn't be as bad if Nick wasn't a lawyer and didn't know
Wait.
better.
Jim says where Nick lives is Trump country. But where I live is Trump country too, in
Yeah,
California.
the state is all blue.
But then again, a jury from here would be red.
Remember,
So,
Tim
like,
Waltz is the
Jim
Minnesota.
might
He
be
was
right.
running
Let's
for
look at
vice
their map
president.
really fast. Voting map.
It's heavy
by
Democrat.
County, Minnesota. Oh shit! It's just like California. So their big populous state
Big.
or cities ruin everything for them.
Yeah.
Let's find out where Spicer is. Oh, I can't see this. It's too small. Okay, so you're right. He could definitely get a jury that's not sensitive. That would be in his favor.
Oh, there's a couple of gays on there, or a couple of maps. A furry would fuck Nick in a heartbeat.
But a lot of, just because they're those things, they're only sensitive and ridiculous about words if they're left-leaning usually. You can find on the right-hand side, you can find not pedophiles, those are strictly left, but you can find gays who are not sensitive to the word faggot.
Yeah. But in the DEI courts, the DEI everything.
Is Matt Gaetz from Minnesota? Just asking because he said something about pedophiles. Gaetz is from Florida. North Dakota. I don't know. Chat's going a little bit fast for me. I don't know what Vicky said, but I don't think they're really, pedophiles aren't left or right. Yes, they are. They're all left.
The groomers, the ones that support grooming in schools.
Oh, because they're not people. I see what you did there. I do agree. Okay, so go to Nova's channel and subscribe. If you're there right now, you still have some people in chat. Hit the like button and remember to share this. Did you like this, Nova? Do you think if we stream again, you'll simulcast and we'll do YouTube as well?
Yeah, why not?
I know, that was fun.
More eyeballs on the debauchery.
So if there's an update in the defamation case, we will chat about it.
Right.
And
December 17th should be another little.
December 17th is for the criminal case, right?
Right.
So we could chat about that a little once they settle, if they settle and when they settle. Hold on, we didn't make a bet. I think you should. Okay, so if I win, I would need you to pin a video to your channel talking about how you've never been correct and how Divinity said is.
No. I am more correct than not.
He's.
I even have clip. Don't make me clip you saying it.
So you know you're going to lose this bet, am I right?
No, I know I'm winning.
Then make the bet.
I said Nick's getting a year minus a day.
Okay, and that he will do jail time. I say he please.
Wait. And the jail time, are you going to try and do the little weasel out because he gets jailed based on his conditions that he violated?
Doesn't step a foot in jail, then that doesn't count.
For any reason surrounding these cases, right?
What do you mean?
So if he violates his bond conditions
and goes to jail, then he got jail.
All right, I'm down. What are the consequences? What are you putting on this? Just a video?
Yeah, you just have to admit how you've never been right once and how I'm always right and how you probably, I'll think of something to that effect. What would I have to do?
I will agree. I ain't scared of your terms and conditions.
Okay, good.
I'll just scroll through them all and hit accept like everyone else does.
What am I going to do if, you win?
Ooh, good question.
I've been thinking about this since yesterday. That's why I had an idea.
What is it?
No, I haven't thought about what I have to do. I've been thinking
about
what you to do. Yeah. So you might have time to think about it. If it's something similar, I would do that. I thought maybe monetary, if you wanted to bet money, I'm down for that as well. It's up to you. Only fan.
$1. I would take $1 American, and you have to say Nova was always correct.
Okay. I'll PayPal you that $1 and say it.
But Canada Post is on strike now, so you can't mail it.
Really?
Yeah, our post office is on strike because they think they need more money because they're fucking criminals. These cocksuckers think they deserve like $35 an hour to move letters from a box to a box. And they get an hour for lunch. the only place in Canada that gets 1 hour for a lunch break, and they think they need to strike because they don't get enough.
And you
money.
think you're little California? Welcome to the fucking party, dude. That's how it goes. And they get a mandatory 10-minute break. And if you don't give them their 10-minute break, you pay them more every hour.
Oh no, you
It's a lot.
still get your breaks, your 15-minute breaks, but they take 1 hour for lunch.
So do we.
I've never seen an
Obviously,
hour
you
lunch
can't
break in
even-
my life.
Do you not have traffic?
No,
in
you
your
get 30
life?
minutes. Every job I've worked a variety of jobs, and every job I've ever had, you get 30 minutes for lunch.
Wow. That's like slavery. You should really sue somebody. I'll represent you.
That's why our post office is on strike.
Hold on.
So
Did you see that Drake is suing Kendrick?
that's all just fucking advertising.
Hilarious.
It's just masked advertising.
He hopes that's what. No, it's the opposite. He doesn't want anyone to hear Kendrick's song. He's like, oh, it's, that the numbers are artificially inflated. He's just going to get more people to hear that he's a pedo. That's all Drake is doing, is amplifying.
I think Drake is the Canadian P. Diddy.
Yeah. And his face,
100%.
God, when you look at his face, it's like, how did I ever doubt it?
He's
Another
the-
thing
he's the
about
Jewish
defamation.
Epstein.
I don't know about that. Another thing about defamation is, the Nickelodeon guy, Dan Schneider?
Yeah, I tried to get you to watch a video on him like a year ago.
Well, he won his motion and he gets to proceed with his defamation suit against I think it's like Warner Brothers or somebody like that. That made
I don't think he wants that, man. You go into the YouTube rabbit hole
Yes,
on him,
he
and there's some
does.
creepy stuff. Real
yeah,
creepy.
but conspiracy theory isn't that.
No, like the girls that worked with him all came out like once they got away from the contracts. Like, no, he was gross and weird and made me like everything.
Gross and weird is not the same as like I don't know what exactly.
Because he had a foot fag. He was a foot fag.
Yeah.
So he wasn't like diddling. He was just foot fagging. That's why Nickelodeon's logo was a foot. All the videos they had where they were putting like food on the kids' feet and no.
Oh no. I don't even know when that is. I'm gonna find out. I don't know. I guess he doesn't want people to say that he's a foot
Or it's
fetish
just a
guy. Why
bully
would you
lawsuit,
sue
right?
someone for that?
Yeah, but it could just be he's got enough money. It's just a bully lawsuit. Because that's what Nick thought he was going to do to Monty. He thought he was going to out bully Monty with money. That was his original games. Like, how much money do you have for defamation? Disclosure of $5,000 each one, and all these other things. And it didn't work. Monty fundraised more money. I donated to Monty just to fuck Nick.
Wait, is Drake responsible for this?
Probably.
He's suing for the documentary, but I didn't watch the documentary, so I'm not sure what they were saying in it. I'm not sure if it got worse than saying he just has a foot fetish, if they were implying he touched. I have no idea.
Go
I
down
have
the
the
YouTube
same
rabbit
birthday as
hole.
Jesus. Well, that is a rabbit hole,
that's
Vicky,
that.
because I think Jesus was born in September. Most people think Jesus was born in December.
September. I think the Bible says September, but they moved it.
The Bible doesn't say at all. That's why we guess. So Bible says certain things that you would assume happened at different times of the year. I think that's why people have a little
That's
bit
why I
of
think
faith.
they moved it to December to appease the pagans so they
Yes.
could all just share the same days.
I 100% believe it was September 11th and that they tried to ruin his birthday by making it a day of death. And you know what else is the other assumed, if not September, December, the other assumed birthday of Jesus is January 6th, which they also tried to fucking ruin. So
They are Satan
interesting. That's
worshipers.
Three Kings Day, which I never even heard about until like a little bit ago. So I might do a little show on that.
Right. Yeah.
I think the Bible implies Jesus died in the spring, but I don't think they imply that he was born in the spring because they were doing census. So, but I don't know. They do imply that it wasn't.
Here's a question. How did they know what year it was before Jesus?
The Hebrew people, the Jews and shit, they were keeping track.
No, well,
And
yeah,
then-
but those are Jews. But what about everyone else? Like the Scottish Highlanders, the North
They were
American
keeping
Indians.
track
How did they
too.
know what year it was?
They were just counting and keeping track, probably based on, I don't know what. And then they got a new calendar. I don't know. I don't know how it works. How did they? Have you thought of that?
I have no. That's one of my little. I'm stoned and have questions.
He said, "Thank you, Brittany. I am correct." They imply that he died in the spring. I don't think they imply that he was born in the spring.
Oh, when Nick goes to jail, will he be a jailhouse lawyer or a jailhouse preacher?
Yes. No, both. He'll do what he's doing now. He'll be both.
And will he get his ass
Half-assed.
kicked?
He will get his shit pushed in. I just not sure how.
By the whites or the blacks?
Both.
Because it is segregated in jail, whether they want to say it or not. It's
He
segregated.
has to pick the whites. He doesn't have a choice. So
Right.
I don't know.
And they know he's got money, so the blacks are going to press him. It's like, hey, give us some of that phone call credit.
I think he probably, if he has money still after all his problems, then he
Like, I
probably
watch
will
a
have
lot of
plenty
60
young-
Days In, and if you have a lot of money and they know you have money, they will extort you for all of it.
Yeah, he should be able to like be that guy, if nothing else. That like I'll buy you some cigarettes or some.
Yeah,
Snicker
please don't
or
rape me
whatever.
today.
Please don't rape me. Yeah, I have chips. Okay, so we're out of here then. We'll see you next time. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving in America.
Oh, yeah.
So if anybody celebrates, enjoy that. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace out.